All right, good evening. Good evening. Wow, I'm ahead of myself. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good morning, my friends, and welcome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to a full day of gameplay streaming here, ladies and gentlemen. What a day today is. A day that will stand in the annals of gaming history forever. Because today is Friday, December 18th, 2020. Today is the day when Cyberpunk was delisted from PlayStation Store. Today is the day when CD Projekt Red stock dipped 20%. And they have lost $6.6 billion. I'm not kidding. $6.6 billion of stock value. Yikes! I don't know how I could even top this as a way to start off a stream ever again. I think this is like however will I ever start a stream with anything more epic than what I just said? Like, holy shit. That is insane. That is like, wowzer. So anyway, today is Friday, December 18th, 2020. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing better than CD Projekt Red. Holy Testicle Tuesday, although today is a Friday. Whew. So, shall we talk about the elephant in the room? Or shall we you know what? Let's talk about the schedule first. Let's do the gaming schedule first. Alright. And let's do that first. And then let's get to the subject at hand I'm sure we're going to be talking about for a while. Alright. So, today we're playing Cyberpunk. Today was the day I was scheduled to play Cyberpunk. And I'm going to play it. Alright. Major stream. Covering it. Last time we played this 2 days ago. I did the Pan Am quests, which I thought were completely boring as dirt. I almost fell asleep. I'm not even kidding. People were like, Phil, you were like nodding off. I'm like, yeah, it was that boring. The game, in my opinion, really doesn't do much at all to innovate. Doesn't do much to keep interest. I completely disagree with the people online who are defending this game and claiming that the game is good, it's just unfinished. Like, no, the game's not good. Like, I've yet to find a damn thing in the game that's good. The world design is interesting because it's a different kind of futuristic dystopian world than one we've seen before. And the graphics are good. But outside of that, like, the plot is incredibly boring at this point. You can tell it's padded and drawn out to make the game longer because the entire 3 hours we spent last time I played this game were just filler. That whole Pan Am quest line is filler. You could skip the whole fucking thing. There's no point to even doing it. Besides introducing a new character, which obviously they want to be a character that's probably going to have stuff going on later in the game. Anyway, today we're playing Cyberpunk, ironically, as the main gameplay stream. And what I mean by that is, you know, I've been very critical of the game since launch, being honest. Telling you guys exactly what I thought, that I was not impressed with the gameplay of the game at all. There are a few things that I like about the game, but, you know, the people who are defending this game, claiming it's good, I'm like, what game are you playing? Like, seriously. And it's not even because of the bugs. Like, I just don't know what game you're talking about. Because they claimed during the entire production of the game that it was going to be a groundbreaking new game with all this innovation. Like, there's not a single thing in this game that is innovated at all. Like, it's all taken from other games. They took 8 years to take the best parts of other games and very sloppily slap them together with duct tape and act like it's their own game when it's not. It's pretty bad of a game. So, at least in my opinion. So for me, you know, I'm going to continue to play this game. And sadly, it's going to be ironically because the game just feels like a mess. Even if they were to fix the whole game and they were to take out all the hilarious bugs and the crashes ended and the game ran beautifully, even if when the PS5 version comes out in like 3-4 months, however long it's going to take, I still don't think this is going to be a good game. Like, you can't fix the core gameplay mechanics that are boring. The game has been there, done that. I've played games like this before. You know, and there's really nothing that's innovating at all. I'm sorry, like there's just nothing interesting. Even the story at this point has gone bone dry for me. There was an interesting part where you were doing a heist, and then you put the microchip in you, and then Johnny Silverhand shows up, and then you don't know what's going to happen. It's kind of interesting, and then the entire last 2 sessions, they just ran that interesting plot right into the ground, and it's boring now. So we'll see what happens today. Okay. We'll see what happens today. All right. But I'm going to continue to play this game. And we'll see, you know, I'm going to be honest with you all along the way. And if it becomes just me being very harsh and criticizing the game constantly during the playthrough, then that's what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to lie. And by the way, I'm not going to over-exaggerate either. It's like I told you guys, there have been a few things that I have definitely been interested in with the game. But I don't see the point in lying to you guys for the sake of making a playthrough, you know, seem better. Sorry, you know, I'd rather just play it and be honest with you, right? So, let's see what happens today. Major stream of Cyberpunk, all right? Which, you know, it's hilarious because I was already doing this anyway, outside of all the drama going on in real life with the game. I was already doing this today. It wasn't like I changed my schedule to adjust for this or anything. So then later tonight, this is going to be exciting because it is the return of my weekly Throwback Street Fighter sessions. That is right. Moving forward, Street Fighter is back, and I have confirmed that Street Fighter Anniversary Collection not only works on the PlayStation 5, but so does my Hori Real Arcade Pro joystick. So that means I can actually continue playing my weekly sessions of Street Fighter, okay, which is awesome. I liked doing old school Street Fighter, and I didn't do it for almost 2 months at this point because of the new releases and the PlayStation 5 launch, and now I can get back into the swing of things doing that. All right? So, excellent. That's excellent news, and I hope you guys will join me later tonight for that, around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. You'll be able to use your channel points to select characters for me to play. It'll be a good time. All right? Tomorrow, we swing back to Yakuza 7 as the main gameplay stream, which has been super fun. Yesterday, we spent the entirety of the stream doing side content because there was that much side content. I didn't even get to do all the side content I wanted to do yesterday. I wanted to return back to the sewer dungeon to see what was down there, see maybe there's some money or maybe some rare items or whatever. And I didn't even get a chance to go down there because we were so busy with the other side missions all throughout Ijincho. So tomorrow, it continues. All right, I hope you'll join me for that. Tomorrow night, it's going to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and number 1, we're going to finish up the Asgard plotline, which I don't know if we can actually finish it, because people are telling me the finale is like super high level and meant to be an endgame mission. So we'll see. I'll give it a shot, but if I can't beat it, I can't beat it. We'll just have to go back to it later. But we're going to go back to the main game, and apparently there's a special event going on in the main game. It's the Yuletide celebration for Christmas, where if you go to your main settlement, Ravensthorpe, apparently there's Christmas shit going on. There's drinking contests, there's fun festive decorations and snow. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So we're going to get to see that tomorrow night, okay? Then on Sunday, it'll be more Cyberpunk. And Sunday night, I'm going to go back to Call of Duty to play some more of the Season 1 content. I got a taste of it last night, played the new maps. In reality, it's only one new map because Raid is from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, while obviously Nuketown we just played, and then all they did is re-add it with holiday-themed stuff. It's definitely the same map, Nuketown. It's no different. But the Pines Mall is kind of interesting. A 1980s mall that's supposed to be based on, like, Back to the Future. And it's cool, but at the same time, it's a little frustrating of a map because there's a lot of different ways people can kind of pop out of corners or holes and get the drop on you. But I'd like to play more of that on Sunday night, and hopefully we can hope for better connections, because I played it last night, and what happens is there's so many people playing the game right now because Season 1 just came out for free, that the connections are very, very bad. Like, ridiculously laggy, frame rate dipping constantly during firefights, and just the connections being so wonky that you shoot someone a million times, they don't die. It's like, Jesus, dude. So hopefully it's better when I play it again on Sunday night. We'll see. By the way, everyone's playing the game for free right now. Apparently, absolutely everyone can play it for free, even if they didn't buy it. So that accounts for the fact that the servers are overloaded. All right. Then on Monday, we're going to do more Yakuza 7 as the main stream, and likely Cyberpunk as the late stream. Okay? And that's going to be my streaming week. Now, I'm off from streaming on Tuesday, but when I return on Wednesday, it is the big Christmas marathon event. This is the event where I'll be dressed up in holiday festive attire. I'll be drinking holiday-themed ales, eggnog, and possibly some other stuff. There'll be a live episode, festive holiday edition of DSP Tries It during the actual marathon event. And I'll be playing a variety of games, including Black Ops Cold War, the return of Fall Guys. For the first time in months, I'll be playing Fall Guys. Season 3 just launched, which includes a bunch of winter-themed games. So we'll be able to see what they've done with Fall Guys in the last couple of months. And then I'll be playing games that you guys recommended, which I'll mention in a bit, that you guys can continue to recommend games for the event. I'm not sure what games it'll be yet, because I'm actually going to take a look. Excuse me. I'm actually going to take a look at the games you guys have recommended during the course of this weekend and pick the best ones that I feel will, be suited to be entertaining for the event. Okay, so great event coming up on Wednesday. If you guys can join me live, I certainly hope you will. It should be a fun time. I know you guys like the holiday festive stuff that I do every year, and I'm very excited to do it for you this year. So I hope that you will join me for the fun and the festiveness on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, it is Ask the King Holiday Edition. All right, and in this edition of Ask the King, I'll be answering your questions, which I'm sure there's going to be some holiday-themed ones, but I'm hoping for some other great game-related ones. It is the end of the year. I'm sure people may be asking me questions about things this year, maybe even questions about things of the last decade that I've played this last console gen. Should be a good time. Hope you'll join me for that. It's the only thing I'm doing on Christmas Eve. No second stream, because I'll be celebrating with my family, as well as on Christmas Day, I'll be off from streaming, which is that Friday. But then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'll be back, in full capacity. And likely it'll end up being like Yakuza and Street Fighter, probably that Saturday. And then on Sunday, it'll probably be Cyberpunk and maybe some Assassin's Creed. And then maybe that Monday will be more Yakuza and probably some like Black Ops or something like that. So, should be good. Now, once all the Christmas festivities are over, there's two things that are going to happen. All right? The first thing that's going to happen is I am going to begin work and try to schedule in my Game of the Year stuff. And what that means is, number one, the most disappointing games of the year countdown. Number two, my best games of the year countdown. I do these every year, okay? And those should be special streams that'll probably be like late night streams where I do live countdowns. And I'll show some video footage of the games that I'm talking about, etc. So those are going to be scheduled in likely for the very end of the year, either the very end of December or possibly that first week of January. I'll be honest with you, likely it's going to be the first week of January because I want to put a little bit of work into those, okay? Then, time permitting, and if you guys want to see this, I'm also considering doing a best and worst of the last console generation countdown, okay? This countdown would essentially just be me going through my Game of the Year awards from the last, 7+ years, the era of Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Wii U, and Switch, and going through those and picking the best and worst games, okay? And doing kind of an overall cumulative countdown of that for you. So, that would be pretty cool, I feel, all right? Now, in addition to all of that, I get the feeling that by then, we're going to want some new gameplay, some new playthroughs. So I'm considering strongly beginning a new playthrough of Immortals Fenyx Rising. This is a game that came out earlier this month that many people have told me it's actually quite a good game, and I'm kind of missing out for having not played it. I really am like, I'm doing it. It's a detriment to myself and my streams for not having played the game because it was a really good game, and a lot of people haven't played it because of the timing of it coming out around the console launches and Cyberpunk and everything, that a lot of people didn't give it a chance, but apparently it's an outstanding game. All right. So, I am strongly considering playing Immortals Fenyx Rising as my next playthrough. And then some other ideas, I might actually give Hades a try, considering so many people have said that Hades was an outstanding game this year, and I didn't even play it or really know much about it. I'm considering maybe giving it a shot and see what it is. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do a full playthrough of it, but since so many people have talked about it, I'm considering doing it. Okay? Of course, keep in mind, even with the next week to week and a half of me playing these games, Cyberpunk and Yakuza, I don't even think I'm going to beat them. And by the same thing with Assassin's Creed, these are still going to be playthroughs going on. So what this essentially would be is me just adding in another playthrough into the mix for variety's sake. Okay? So, all that's coming up in the next few weeks. I hope that sounds good to all of you. All right? So, what I should mention now is your ability to contribute to the upcoming events. First of all, if you type !Christmas into the stream chat, you can still nominate games for the Christmas event on Wednesday. You still have time to do so. I'll be reviewing those games likely over the weekend, like Saturday or Sunday night. I'll probably sit down and take a look at what you listed and go through it and pick the ones that I feel are the best so that I can get some of those games ready for Wednesday. All right, so you still have a chance to nominate stuff. All right, and then in addition, if you type !Ask the King into the stream chat, that'll allow you to post up your questions from the holiday Q&A show. So I hope that you'll do that as well. The more questions I get for a Q&A show, the better the Q&A show will be. So please post up your questions for that as well. All right, guys? Now, before we get to the elephant in the room, the gaming news about Cyberpunk, which is all anybody's talking about yet again, all right, let us very quickly do some plugs, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, I am an independent. I do not work for anybody. I'm not contracted to stream on Twitch. I don't get paid a flat rate like the big streamers out there. I don't have any sponsorships with anyone. I don't get paid for product placement. I don't get paid to shill for anything. I am here on a daily basis to share my honest gameplay experiences with all of you, to share my true feelings about what I'm doing with all of you. All right? I've done this for 12 years. And that's why I feel I still have the longevity that I have and why I'm still here and still pertinent, why many other people have, poof, gone away who used to be content creators, right? You guys like the fact that I'm honest. You guys like the fact that I don't pull punches, and you like my honesty about things that are overhyped. And you also like when I tell you about games that maybe gone under the radar, right? So because of that, I rely on your crowdfunding to keep doing what I'm doing. It's because of you directly, your support over the years that has allowed me to continue to do what I love for a living, right? Because you support my streams and you like what I do, that allows me to put out the kind of content that I do. It's allowed me to forget about YouTube and not really care about putting out YouTube content and instead just putting out these fun, interactive daily streams, which I absolutely love doing. All right? So that being said, if you like this content, you support my efforts to keep being a true independent, and you want to see this continue, all right, please consider contributing to the streams, all right, in various ways. You could cheer with bits, you could subscribe to the channel, or you could tip me. Now, being completely honest here, everyone, contributions to my streams are not mandatory, nor are they expected, all right? But if you like the stuff and you want to see it continue, by all means, please support. It is the season, right? And thank you in advance to anyone who even considers contributing in any way, shape, or form to my streams, all right? Recently, I have had some pretty bad issues with chargebacks of tips that have affected me. So if you want to help out the most, I would strongly recommend tipping me on the stream. That's the way that's going to give me the most support in the short term, all right? And that's really where I need the support right now is via tips, okay? We have some rewards tiers in effect for levels of tips that I receive during a stream. If I get $50 in tips during a stream, I put on the Gunner glasses, which look pretty silly. For $100 raised in tips, which is considered the tips goal for a stream, then I put on a vest. Last night, I put on the camo vest for the Call of Duty stream. All right. So today, every vest would be eligible except for the platinum and the camo, because I wore both the platinum and the camo yesterday. So that would be the beige, the blue, the... Actually, wait a minute. I didn't wear the platinum vest yesterday, did I? Hold on a second. I thought I wore the blue. Didn't I wear the blue vest? Now I can't even remember. Oh, man. Or did I? Yeah, it's all getting confused. Who was here yesterday for Yakuza? Come on, speak up. What vest? Oh, that's right. I wore the emerald sequins vest. That's the one I wore. The rainbow vest. No, what vest did I wear yesterday during Yakuza 7? I can't even remember. I know I wore the blue vest recently, but was that 2 days ago? I seriously can't remember. Anyone know? Green. It was green. Oh, the black vest. No one could see it. Oh. Lightside Hank says it was platinum, and I trust Lightside Hank. So I'm going to say it was platinum. So yesterday I wore the platinum vest, and I wore the camo vest. So that means today the vest eligible for the tips goal would be the beige, the blue, the red, or the gray. Okay? We'll go for variety today. Maybe some festive red for the holidays, right? And maybe if I put on the festive red vest, then I'll put on the Christmas hat too, right? Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, thank you in advance to anyone who is going to contribute today. I appreciate it. Now, one thing I do want to say in advance, two quick things actually. First of all, please understand that during the stream, I may have to check on tips and see if they're real. Sadly, I still have a malicious individual who's coming to the streams daily and giving me fake tips with stolen credit cards. This is happening daily. I just don't mention it, but this is happening absolutely every day still. This guy is mentally nuts, all right? He's committing felonies on a daily basis on this stream, okay? So I need to identify those fake tips immediately and refund them. If I don't, there could be repercussions for me in the long term, such as chargebacks, fees, and the like. So if I find it right up front, I can negate that, okay? But that means sometimes if I get a tip and it's someone I don't recognize or whatever, I have to basically screen the tip and make sure it's real. You may have me asking, hey, so-and-so, did you tip me today, or is this someone impersonating you? And I apologize for that. That could definitely disrupt the immersion of a stream. I get that. I don't like having to do it. I just have to do it. It's a necessary evil, because if I don't, it's going to come back to bite me in the ass, right? That's the reason why I'm in such annoying places right now with these chargebacks this week. You know, I had $120 in chargebacks the other day. Completely screwed me over. So, apologies in advance. Now, what I will recommend is this. If you are a frequent stream viewer and you do want to support the streams and you want a tip to help, I strongly recommend getting a registered PayPal account and verifying it. What does that mean? It means create an account in PayPal, link your actual information to it, not an unverified account where you do like an express checkout credit card payment. Forget that. That's completely unsafe, and those are the kind of things I have to refund because I can't trust them. This guy is using stolen credit cards and doing this multiple times on a daily basis, so I have to refund all that, okay? But if you have a verified account with PayPal actually linked to certain information like your real bank account, and you verify it with that information, I know that I can trust you, and I don't have to sit here verifying shit all day on stream. In fact, if you've noticed, sometimes I'll say, oh, so-and-so did a tip, and it's a real one, so here you go. That's because they're a verified account. I don't have to fucking sit here and wonder or try to confirm. You see what I mean? So, please consider it. If you are a fan and you want to support, the best way would be a verified PayPal account by tipping me, all right? Now, before anyone starts causing misinformation, no. When you have a verified PayPal account, I cannot see your information at all. I don't see your real name. I don't see your address. I don't see your bank account. I see none of that, all right? All I get to see is an email address. Whatever email address you've associated with that account, I see, and that's it. So don't listen to the idiots on the internet who try to say, oh, but that doxes you. No, do you want to know why they say that? Because they don't want you to contribute. Because they're assholes, so they're going to spread, rumors and drama and nonsense that's not true, gossip, to try to make people scare them away from contributing to a streamer, which is complete horseshit, okay? All right. So, thank you guys very much in advance. I appreciate that. Let's now talk about the elephant in the room, the Cyberpunk Disaster, all right? So we all know what's happened in the last week since Cyberpunk released. It's one of the buggiest messes ever released ever in the history of games, at least for a mainstream release. I mean, we've had buggy games before, but never from a major AAA studio and a massively hyped game like this in development for 8 years and came out this much of a mess. So the game is such a mess, all right, that CD Projekt Red, the game developers, in the last week have publicly admitted they screwed up. They should have spent more time working on the console versions of the game. and not just focusing on the PC version like they did. Because of that, they admitted publicly the game is messy, and they asked everyone to try to get refunds. So everyone tried, and everyone was denied by Microsoft and Sony, and said, no, you can't get a refund. So everyone was like, what, are you kidding me? Why would they ask us to get refunds if we can't get them? Well, this has been the controversy all week, and every day that this goes on, CD Projekt Red's stock price has plummeted more and more, okay? They're losing billions of dollars of value in their company because of this fiasco. Well, ladies and gentlemen, overnight last night, something huge happened. Something completely unprecedented in the annals of gaming history. Something happened that no one expected. Sony stepped up to the plate and said, we refuse to sell Cyberpunk on our marketplace. We are delisting it. And they did. Wow! That is actually without precedent. I have been doing this for 12 years. Not once have I ever seen a major AAA game get delisted off of a digital marketplace. Ever. Ever. There's been games that get delisted, but it's usually games that are such shit. You know, they're put up by some indie studio, and somehow they slip through the certification process, and the game goes up and it's a piece of donkey shit, and people complain, and then it gets pulled. I have never, ever seen a game get pulled from the marketplace. Now, the reasoning, I feel, is because Sony does feel that people should be getting refunds for the game, and said as much. They said, if you want a refund for this game, you could get one. If you bought it digitally, we are going to refund you. We just need to confirm that you actually did buy it, and then we are going to refund your purchase. And that's it. It wasn't, oh, you have to prove that the game's broken, or, you know what I mean? Or, oh, only if you played a certain amount of hours. No. Across the board, Sony has stated, we are just going to refund everyone their money. All you need to do is confirm that you want it, and we're going to give you your money back. No questions asked. Whoa. That is nuts. That has never, again, I've never heard of that happening in the history that I've been doing this. A company publicly admitting a game is so bad, they don't want to take the flack for it being so bad and being sold on their marketplace. So not only are they pulling it, but they're going to give everyone refunds for it. Okay? So in essence, everyone got this game for free. Anyone who bought this game on PlayStation Network got Cyberpunk for free. Now, of course, it's a buggy piece of shit game, but it's still a free game. You know? And that's why I feel Sony pulled it from their marketplace, because they said, if we're going to refund people for this game, we can't have people now downloading it in addition to get it free and then asking for a refund. So I think that's why they pulled it. They realized you may have some people now trying to take advantage of the situation, download it now, and then get a refund instantly for it to get a free game. Okay, and that's not what they wanted. All right? So, that is pretty insane. So already this was happening overnight. This morning, not 30 minutes before I started broadcasting here, Microsoft followed suit in the case that they are basically saying, well, we also are going to refund everybody. Okay? So, we'll see. We'll see what happens, all right? Microsoft is claiming you can get a refund as well. I don't know. We're going to see what happens with this. I really don't know what's going to happen with this, honestly. Will people get their refunds? Will they not get their refunds? Because the other thing is, I guess it really depends on how you paid for the game. If you paid with a bank account versus a credit card versus PayPal, there may be a situation where you can't even get a refund. Or maybe a situation where a refund could take weeks, right? So, I guess we'll see what happens with this. But all I can say is, I guarantee you, every person who bought this game is going to get a refund. Everyone. Why wouldn't you? You're literally being told, right? You're literally being told you got a free one. Get your money back. Who isn't going to take advantage of that, right? And what's funny is, we were told 8 million copies, folks. 8 million copies of Cyberpunk were sold on pre-orders alone. It was the biggest pre-ordered game in history. 8 million copies. How many of those 8 million are getting refunds? Right? How many? So now already CD Projekt Red's stock was tanking this week. Ladies and gentlemen, overnight, the stock has dipped an additional 20% in value. CD Projekt Red as a company has lost $6.6 billion in value in this last week. $6.6 billion. Holy shit. I mean, essentially what's happening is this whole fiasco is undoing Witcher 3. You understand that, right? Like, it is all the goodwill, all the sales and money over the years, it's all being taken away. It's as if they're erasing all the good things they've ever done, right? Now, I said this last night on Twitter. I'll reiterate this here on my stream today. Shareholders. These are the people who actually hold the stock of the company, and they have big power. For those who don't know how publicly traded companies work, they have big power. They have the ability to actually control who runs the company. They can vote people out of power in a vote of no confidence. If they feel that those in charge of CD Projekt Red don't know what the fuck they're doing, they can actually unseat them. It's a painful process, but they could do that if they felt that. If they felt there was no confidence in the leadership, they could get rid of them, okay? But what I'm hoping for, okay, what I'm really hoping for is that there's not a culling of the company from the bottom up. Because the people who worked on this game are talented. You can see when you play the game, right? You can see that there's a lot of talent that went into this game. Some of these character models for the story-based characters are very well designed. The motion capture is great. The story elements are really good. The world design is good. There's things in the game that are good. This is not a 100% shit sundae. There's actually some delicious chocolate on the shit sundae that's good. It's just a shame that they replaced the ice cream with mounds of dog duty. Okay? But it's still good stuff in the game. And you can tell if they had spent more time developing the game, maybe another year, this game could have been insanely good. All right? Now, not as good as I think people would have thought, because I still think the gameplay elements are boring. I still think it's a game where they stole gameplay elements from other games and pasted them together. But instead of the situation we have right now, this could have ended up being like a Horizon Zero Dawn situation. Horizon Zero Dawn's another game that I criticized and said I didn't like it as much as others because I felt it was just gameplay elements from other games that were taped together. But overall, take a look at how good that game ran. It was super polished. The graphics were outstanding for the time, like some of the best ever on PlayStation 4 at the time. And it had a really interesting original world design and plot line. That's kind of how I think how Cyberpunk could have been. It could have been just as good as Horizon Zero Dawn if the game actually was working. You see? So that being said, I really hope there is no culling of employees as a result of losing $6.6 billion of value of the company because the management sucks, right? And I was very critical all this year. Every time the game got delayed, every time we heard stories about crunch, I always said it's the management's fault. The management obviously doesn't know what they're doing. Possibly this management got lucky with a game like Witcher 3. And maybe we should take a look big picture at this and say, why are they in charge if they don't know what they're doing? Right? That's what the shareholders now have to face. Maybe this company that we've invested all this money in isn't actually worth it because the management are a bunch of fucking idiots, and maybe we need to cull the management. You know, cut them out of the picture and get other people in there who know how to run a project. Because right now, this is a grade A disaster. And just to think about it, because Bubble Buddy just said something like this. He says, I wonder if this will happen with Halo Infinite. This could have happened with Halo Infinite. This was going to happen with Halo Infinite. That game was going to release with the launch of Xbox Series X, but once people panned the game when they saw the early production or you know, alpha footage during the what was it, late summer, early fall event, and people slammed the shit out of the game, thank God they delayed it. Can you imagine if that game had come out in an unfinished state, you know what I mean? So they, if anything, those people at 343 Studios and Microsoft, they must be breathing the biggest sigh of fucking relief in history. Because they're like, wow, we did the right thing by delaying. We would have been CD Projekt Red if we had released that game, right? That's pretty crazy. Okay? So, the other thing that happened overnight is apparently there was an internal Q&A session with employees and devs talking to the management of CD Projekt Red, and one of the questions that was directly asked during this event, an actual game developer asked management, how could you have us working on a game where the actual plot line of the game is that corporations are exploiting the common people and ruining their lives, turning them into products to, fuck around with or whatever. How could you be developing a game where that's the plot line, the villains of the corporations, yet at the same time, you were a corporation exploiting us, the game devs, and forcing us to crunch and do overtime? They actually asked this question. And the management completely avoided it. They didn't answer. They basically just sugar talked and then moved on to the next question without answering it. So I'm sorry, but it sounds to me that this management is done. We got to get them out. You know what I mean? Like, at one point, how many things go wrong and how many times do they fuck up that you vote zero confidence? First, they delay the game a million times and they keep promising it's going to be ready. It's not, right? They crunch the shit out of their employees and still release a buggy piece of shit that's broken. They hide the fact that the console versions aren't good. They don't give out review copy codes. They lie about it to sell copies, right? Then they come out and publicly apologize that it's so bad and lie and say you can get a refund when you can't. They had no agreement with anyone to give refunds. Then because of the backlash for not getting the refunds, then they finally go behind the scenes to get everyone refunds. And then they're not taking any responsibility with their employees. It's like, dude, how many fucking times can you fail and do something wrong and still get away with it? These shareholders got to do the right thing. And they have the power to do it. They got to have some kind of an emergency powwow, and they got to get these fuckers out. Because this is a company that's full of talented game devs. We know that. We've played great games from CD Projekt Red. Those DLCs for Witcher 3 are some of the best DLC I ever played in my life in any game. It's like standalone games that were sold for the price of a DLC. How can you say that they're not a good company and they don't have talent? You can't. You can't argue that. The problem is the people in charge are fucking idiots. And they need to be tossed so we can get people who actually know what they're doing in power. Okay? So, that's my take. But, the power ain't in my hands. The power's in the hands of the shareholders. So, we'll see what happens. But, obviously, this is the big talk. Everyone's talking about it. Because, what can you talk about a bigger train wreck? I don't think there has been one. In the history of gaming, we've had Duke Nukem Forever's fiasco, right? We've had these things happen, but never has there been a train wreck, I think, as big as Cyberpunk at this point. Pretty crazy. Anthem. Yeah, that was another one. Fall 76. And this is the other thing, too. When you look at all these games that were absolute trash, they were never removed from a marketplace before, Everyone knows Fallout 76 was a broken piece of shit, and it wasn't removed from the marketplace. This is unprecedented that this has happened. Never before. Never before. I think Sony must have some egg on their face, too, because the truth of the matter is, apparently Sony also got asked, how could you put this game on your marketplace when you knew it ran so poorly? And Sony's response was, well, we were assured by CD Projekt Red that that day one patch was going to fix it. Like, we were told directly by CD Projekt Red they knew the game had issues, and they were going to fix all that with their big release patches, and it wasn't going to be a big deal. And obviously, that was not the case. They were lied to as well. Okay? Good Lord. Well, that's really all I have to say about that. Wow. And really, this is a growing, evolving thing every day. Every time you think the Cyberpunk / CD Projekt Red story is over. Okay, that's the worst it can get. It gets worse. Like, oh my God, I mean, I've been talking about this all week, obviously. But it's like, dude, it's like every day there's more drama. Every day they get worse and worse. Every day they fuck up worse. Like, oh my God. So I guess we'll see what happens. All right? We'll see what happens. Good Lord. And by the way, I should say this, you know, in the case of, we can always start playing Immortals Phoenix Rising. Because a lot of people have already said to me, Phil, you should stop playing the game. You know, Cyberpunk, it's not a fun game to play right now. If we get a consensus that people just don't want to see the game anymore, all right, then I'll just start playing Immortals instead, and then we'll balance the streams between like Immortals and Yakuza or something, and we'll save Cyberpunk until I guess until it's fixed. I don't know if we should wait until the PlayStation 5 version actually comes out. I don't know if the save file is going to carry over from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5 version. That would be on CD Projekt Red to determine. You know, so I guess we'll see what happens here, but man, what a mess, right? What a fucking mess. Let's see. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else in general I want to cover before we get to shout-outs. No, I guess we'll just get to shout-outs. Let's just go right to shout-outs. All right, hold on a second here. So, I'm going to scroll down here because we did have some overnight contributions. So, obviously, I would like to say thank you to those who did contribute overnight. It's very generous of you. We had Golden Colts who did a couple overnight cheers. First question, he says, irrelevant time-wasting question about food. So, even Golden Colts now has succumbed to the meme about himself, where people say that all of his tweets are about food, or all of his tweets, excuse me, all of his cheers are about food, right? Yes, because, you know, every day people say this, that every time Golden Colts asks a question, it's about food. I guess it's true, right? I guess it's true. Alrighty then. So, thank you for the time-wasting question about food. Then his second question, actually this second question is not a question, it's actually something I already knew. So, thank you for the cheer, Golden Colts. I'll basically summarize here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if people know the answer to this question. I'm curious how many of you would know this. Now, many of you have heard of this company before. It's a small-time company, so maybe some of you haven't. McDonald's, right? Have any of you heard of McDonald's before? Maybe some of you have. So, if you've heard of McDonald's, you know, it's a fast food chain of respectable size. You may know that McDonald's has two products that are incredibly similar. All right? One is called the double cheeseburger. And one is called the McDouble. Okay? Does anyone actually know the difference between the double cheeseburger and the McDouble at McDonald's? You have 20 seconds to answer. Ready? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And some people answered correctly. Okay, so the answer is the amount of cheese on the burger. Okay? The double cheeseburger has 2 whole pieces of American cheese. The McDouble only has a single piece of American cheese. All right? And you might say to yourself, this is weird. Why would this even exist? Why is there the difference between a double cheeseburger and a McDouble? I know the answer to this because I remember. So, if you guys remember, McDonald's innovated with their dollar menu idea. Right? They had an idea. Let's sell fast food items at a discounted rate. This will bring more people to the stores. It did. Actually, when they instituted the dollar menu, their sales volume went way the hell up. Okay? But what they found long term was that even though their sales volume went up, it wasn't as profitable as they had hoped because they were selling certain items such as a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, the double cheeseburger, I think it was a medium fries. they were selling them all for $1, and actually they were missing out on profit. And a lot of the franchisees, people who own these individual restaurants, complained to the major corporation, your dollar menu is killing us. We got people coming in buying more food and we're making less money. It's not fair to us. Fix this. So what McDonald's did is they tweaked the menu to have similar versions of the dollar menu items still sold for the cheaper price, but they cut corners. So the McDouble cuts a corner by reducing the amount of cheese on the sandwich, which cuts the cost of making it, but they could still sell it for the dollar menu price, and people didn't know the difference. See? Ha ha! But what's funny to that is now none of that's $1 anymore. They raised the prices so much over the years, none of that shit is $1 anymore. Now it's like two. Sometimes they do a 2 for $2. Sometimes they'll do like a 2 for $3. It's so weird, the deals that they do now. But they don't do dollar menu at all. It's gone. There's no, now they call it the value menu, and everything's like $1.50 to $2 each. So the dollar menu was great and completely doesn't exist anymore. So it's kind of a moot point, because it doesn't make sense that they have a difference between a McDouble and a double cheeseburger. It just doesn't make any sense, because why does it even exist, right? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, thank you for the overnight cheers, Golden Cults. SPB Original has subscribed for 17 months. And he says, I want to buy Cyberpunk just so I could refund that piece of shit. Well, you can't. They took it off. You can't buy it anymore. It's gone from the marketplace. You missed your opportunity. Nose Vacuum did a 50-bit cheer. That would have been the biggest cheer of the day, but I see we have a couple more cheers bigger that are coming up, so I won't update the leaderboard yet. He says, did you know those noodle cups that you bought for 39 cents and then you tried them on DSP Tries It? You mean the actual cup noodles that I did during my playthrough of Final Fantasy 15. I assume is what you're talking about. He says, they actually sell for $5 Canadian currency. Imagine the profits. Are you kidding me? Well, first of all, I should say, I don't know the value of Canadian currency. I don't know if Canadian currency is way less value than American dollars or not. $5 for a cup of noodles? What? That's like, what the fuck? Seriously, what are you paying for? Now listen, there are $5 noodles out there, but they're like gourmet. They have pieces of meat and stuff in them. Not the instant ramen, dude. $5 for instant ramen? That's insanity. Holy shit. Well, that's nuts. I couldn't imagine dropping a $5 on that thing. That thing is so low quality. Who the fuck would do that, right? All right, Snooty Boo did 100-bit cheer. Says, do you think the CD Projekt Red gaffe is more or less embarrassing than jacking off on live stream? Well, here's the thing, and I can answer this wholeheartedly, honestly, even though you think this is going to be some kind of an embarrassing or insulting question. All right, I have far recovered and moved on from the stupidity of what happened almost 5 years ago. In my case, my biggest mistake was a complete accident. Obviously, it was something stupid that I did, boneheaded, but it also was an accident. All right? CD Projekt Red completely botching Cyberpunk is not an accident. It is a calculated thing that they did. They decided to 100% lie about the console versions of the game and hope that people would just buy them and that they would just accept it for what they are for some odd reason. I don't know why they thought in the modern day people would just be okay with how these games run on consoles. That's insane to me. There's a difference between an accident and something that is completely maliciously intentional to make money. All right? They were trying to scam people and make money, which is bad. All right? In addition, you know, when that happened to me, I did not lose $6.6 billion in market share. In fact, if anything, you know, it was quite embarrassing, but, you know, since then, things have actually gotten better for me. Over the years since I became a full-time streamer, I've completely changed the kind of content I do and everything. Things have actually gotten much better for me, much more positive. All right? So, actually, it's quite the opposite. So, nice try, Snooty Roo. I know, obviously, we're trying to stick it to me there, and it has miserably backfired. Congratulations. Eternal Napalm did 150-bit cheer, and that looks like to be it's the biggest cheer of the day. So let's get Eternal Napalm up on the leaderboard here. Here we go. Uh, 150 bits. There we go. All right, and he says, who would have thought Bug Snacks would be the best fall release? Bug Snacks. Now, listen. Some people are going to disagree with that. Personally, I think Bug Snacks is one of the best games of the year. That's my opinion. You can completely disagree, and if you do, that's fine. I also liked many other, like, who's a 7? Are you shitting me? That game is incredibly good. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's actually growing on me more and more. The more that I play Valhalla, the more I like it. All right, at first, I definitely agreed with everyone. I thought it was slow, and it was very similar to the last 2 games. But the more that I'm playing it, the more I'm actually liking this. Okay? So, yes. There are many good games this fall. Bug Snacks is definitely one of them. You know, I'm not going to lie. And yes, that's a shock to me. Honestly, I thought Bug Snacks was going to end up being kind of a crappy game. We would play a few streams. I probably, you know, maybe for groaning purposes, I was going to finish it. But it ended up being one of the best stories all year. One of the best stories of the year. How? I don't know, but that's the world we're living in 2020. Genesis Gaming's Wii is resale for 21 months. Says, I'm really happy I waited to play Cyberpunk till I can get a PC that can run it, and by then it runs better. I mean, yeah. At this point, I think anyone who waited kind of did the right thing. You know what I mean? AEG Glow Gang 1738 cheered. And here we go with his Wagwan Boss Man comments again. I can't even read this. He's trying to pick up some munch. He's thinking of grabbing a packet of crisps and a strawberry Mirinda. What are your to-go items from the corner shop? I haven't been to a corner shop since I was a kid. I used to go to a corner shop with my dad. Every Sunday we would pick up the newspaper and milk and some supplies. And I'm trying to remember if we would actually buy anything. Like sometimes we would get a drink, but I don't think we would actually like buy a snack from the corner shop. Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. But anyway, I don't get anything from a corner shop anymore. Anything that I eat or drink, I buy from the grocery store when I go once a week. So, Respergoo has tipped me $5, the first tip of the day. He says, my lord, I took a few days off to play Cyberpunk on PS4. The game is broken. Should I have my money back? Please advise. That is up to you. If you feel the game is broken and you know, you're owed a refund, you could get one. Everyone can get one. Like, literally everyone can get a refund and have played the game for free. So, that's up to you. If you want to get the refund, go for the refund. Okay? Fred Kozinski cheers. Maybe the experience will teach console plebs to know their place. PC players got the game we wanted. The rest of you can suck a fat one. Well, if the game you wanted was a game that just literally stole from every other popular franchise and taped it together with duct tape, had a plot that's pretty meandering, obviously padded and stretched out, has entire segments that are superfluous to any kind of productiveness, and a game universe that's incredibly immature, over-sexualized, and basically not very well thought out, I hope you enjoyed your game. Because as I said, even outside of all the bugs, the glitches, and the issues that the console versions have, this game still ain't good in my opinion. It's an 8-year endeavor to become mediocre. That's what it feels like to me. They tried 8 years to be as good as everyone else, and all they did was end up very, very mediocre. And that's not a good thing. So, I'm glad to hear, Fred Kaczynski, that you've enjoyed the game on PC. That's well within your realm of personal preference. No one can tell you otherwise to say that you're not allowed to enjoy the game. At the same time, no one's to tell us, that people who don't like it, that we can't say you have bad taste. Because that's how I feel. I don't think the game so far, in the 15 hours or so that I've played it, I don't think there's been anything revolutionary or interesting about the game at all. I think that outside of the world design, which is a little unique and interesting, everything else is boring. Like, literally everything else is boring. There's zero innovation in this game. It's like they really wanted to innovate, and they failed miserably at innovating. And by the way, now that I'm looking, I actually think my playthrough is like 18 to 20 hours long. Yeah, I got 18 parts, and a few parts are over an hour long, so essentially I've been playing the game for 20 hours, and I haven't seen a single thing that's interesting yet. So, alrighty then. Phil the Snatch cheered. He says, listen to this. In the past, you said your wife is your only friend. Do you think this affects your ability to relate to men? What the fuck are you talking about? Yes. There you go. What a great cheer. Whoa. Okay, hold on a minute, guys. I have to verify a tip that came in. But once I verify it, I'll give it a shout out. In the meantime, shout out to Angelo Bestia, who did a 95-bit cheers. The studio should follow the Devil May Cry 5 example. Keep the game under wraps for years. And then release an excellent game on release with only a few bugs. Teasing a game 8 years in advance is just asking for disappointment, like Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy 15. The Devil May Cry 5 release was flawless and one of the best executions in my opinion. There you go. And I guess I have to agree. You know? I guess I have to agree. I do feel that they did it right. I didn't even know that they were even making Devil May Cry 5 until all of a sudden they announced it, like, what was it, like 2 months ahead or a month ahead, and then the game came out and was pretty good. So I have to agree. Even though, personally, I wasn't in love with Devil May Cry 5, I can acknowledge that the game ran beautifully. The combat system was amazing. You know, everything about that game was outstanding for if people who like that kind of game. Not my cup of tea, but I can understand why people love that as a masterpiece. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Bring Me the Horizon has tipped me $50 at the beginning of the stream today. Thank you to Bring Me the Horizon for a $50 tip. I have verified it. It is real. That means today we will be starting off with the Gunner glasses. Thank you very much for a very generous $50 tip. Bring Me the Horizon. I appreciate that. And again, guys, this is the difference between having a verified account and not. When an account is verified, I can verify a tip is real right away, and we don't have to worry about it. See? Cool. Servant of Eve Cheery says, wake the fuck up, Samurai. We have a penne to prefer. Talk about combining memes with memes. Snorlax Cheers says, Cat, ever use any of your phrases or mannerisms as jokes towards you for lighthearted humor? Basically, my wife and I don't talk about shit from the streams outside of the streams, all right? What happens on the streams is part of the streams. It's part of my work, right? But first of all, what's in the past is in the past, you know, and so we don't bring up stuff from, the ancient past. There's no point. The things that I've done as a live streamer, full-time live streamer for the past 4 years, very different from anything that kind of happened beforehand. As you guys know, I've definitely changed as a content creator in the past 4 years. I'm a very different person now. I feel I've grown and matured as a person. But no, we don't bring that shit up because there's no point. The past is in the past, and we don't. When I'm off stream, I don't talk about streams or anything. Maybe if there's something quickly to talk about, oh, I really enjoyed this part of a game or whatever. But no, we try not to do, you know what I mean? Like, why bring work shit outside of work? You know what I mean? Then you would never have an end to it. That's the thing. You got to try to have that separation, work-life balance. So, no, we don't do that. Eternal Napalm Cheers says, CD Projekt Red absolutely ruined their reputation. The fact that Cyberpunk's blacklisted for PlayStation Network a week after launch is huge. All for a quick buck. And one of the things I completely forgot to mention, before Christmas, Christmas is this coming week. So 1 week before, arguably the time when they would have probably doubled their sales, when everyone's getting money for Christmas, and now they're, what games am I going to buy? Oh, I didn't have Cyberpunk, I'm going to buy Cyberpunk. No one on a Sony console can buy Cyberpunk anymore, right? So this has completely destroyed their potential for Christmas sales that they were going to make on this game. This is a huge deal. Yes, that is correct. Theodo Stream says they could buy the game disc. That is correct. They'd have to go physically order a game disc from somewhere. I'm talking about Christmas Day digital sales are gone. You guys don't understand. Christmas Day digital sales are huge now. People who get, I got a PlayStation Network card. I got a gift card. Put that in my bank account. Now I can buy games, right? And that's gone now. It's done. Captain K-Man Cherry says, will Keanu get paid? I'm pretty sure Keanu already got paid. When voice actors and people like that, usually they get their pay up front. They're not, unlike the game devs who have to wait for the game to sell, and a lot of the times the game devs will get a performance-based reward on how well the game sells or whatever. Usually the crew will get paid up front. So I don't think that Keanu got stiffed here. Okay? Frenel chooses, why does it seem like you're implying Cyberpunk 2077 has to be revolutionary? You play the new Call of Duty. It's repetitive and old as fuck, but you're fine with that. Is it not congruous because you have way more expectations of Cyberpunk? It's not that I have expectations of Cyberpunk. The game devs created those expectations. I didn't do it. You have to understand, CD Projekt Red in the last 8 years has come out repeatedly claiming Night City will be the most immersive, organic experience you'll ever see in a video game. Here's some advanced trailer footage of how it will look. Look, there's hundreds of people in the streets, and they're all unique and different, and they have their own stories. And you're going to really immerse yourself in this universe. They did all that, not me. I didn't do that. You got to remember something, okay? Horizon Zero Dawn. So many people love that game. I thought it was good, but I didn't kiss its butt. I was honest and I said, listen, even though everyone thinks this is like game of the year, I don't think so. It has gameplay elements that I've done in other games. It tapes them together nicely. It is a nice congruent whole. The story is unique and interesting, but I wasn't blown away by Horizon Zero Dawn because it's kind of the same deal as Cyberpunk. It feels like people took stuff from other games and slapped it together. Zero innovation. And when you have no innovation, I'm not blown away. Sorry. Okay? So that's how I feel about this game. That's my honest opinion. I didn't create any expectations. CD Projekt Red overpromised and under-delivered. The thing that I have warned people about year after year. I say, guys, you can't overpromise and under-deliver. You can't do it. You have to be realistic with the expectations you create of the consumer. Don't tell them shit that's not going to happen, because then everyone's disappointed and you ruin your reputation. If they hadn't overhyped their game, if they hadn't overpromised, if they hadn't given us 5 zillion snippets of information to build hype over the past, many years, this wouldn't be the situation we're in. Again, Devil May Cry 5 did the complete polar opposite, and they were very successful. I don't even know what else to say. I've said this a million times. I'm just repeating myself. Okay? All right, guys. So, shout-outs to the top cheers of the week so far. Thank you to the following people who have cheered so far this week. We got Bubble Buddy in 10th place, Sir Spartan King in 9th place, Local Nomad in 8th place, Captain K-Man is in 7th, Timbo Slice is in 6th, The Hated One is in 5th, Guitar Player is in 4th, Rob on Wheels and Shadow the Hedgehog are tied for 2nd, and in 1st place, we've got Lucifer Soul. There you go. Fred Kaczynski cheers. He said, looking to strike it big. Should I buy CD Projekt Red stock now or wait for it to drop further? See, and here's the problem with this kind of stuff. It's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? The way I see it is thus. CD Projekt Red is a company that has intrinsic value, and there are very talented game devs there, and it's very possible that they could recover from this. It's also possible this is the end, and they've ruined their reputation. No one will ever trust them again, and this is, they're not going to be a sales dynamo ever again. They're fucked, okay? We don't know. So the question is thus, okay? If you're walking down the street and you see a dumpster fire, do you decide that is the time to invest in dumpsters? It's on fire. Burn it. Should I buy that flaming dumpster right now because the fire will eventually get put out? I don't know. For me, that would be a very risky venture right now to be buying CD Projekt Red stock when we have no... The thing is, it would have been one thing if they made one big mistake. Okay, they were dishonest, they lied to people so people would buy the console version. But since then, they did everything right. But they haven't. They told everyone they could get a refund when they couldn't. They hadn't made any specific arrangements with any company yet to give out refunds. So they told everyone to get a refund before they made arrangements to do so. Right? They have not really done anything to ensure that their employees are okay. Their employees are asking them, why the fuck did you overwork us? And basically become huge hypocrites. When you made a game about corporations being bad and exploiting people, then you exploited us to make your fucking shitty game. Right? So obviously the employees don't even like the manager. You see what I mean? So it's like fuck up after fuck up after fuck up in a week's time. So do you really trust that this management is going to somehow magically wisen up overnight and fix their company? I don't know. That's a huge risky venture in my opinion. Seriously. Darkside Blade cheers. I don't think the game is great since you reacted with indifference to way worse scams like Fallout 76 and Arkham Knight. Isn't it possible you're biased towards CD Projekt Red? Arkham Knight? What do you even mean by that? Arkham Knight was what was wrong with that game? The game was fine. Unless you're talking about the DLC season, which I outright condemned. I outright said I will, after I bought the Arkham Knight season pass, I outright publicly said I would never, ever buy a season pass again. Oh, see, you guys are talking about something I don't even know about. People are saying, apparently Arkham Knight was so broken on PC that it was delisted. I don't play on PC, guys, so how would I even know about that? Right? And by the way, let's be honest here. The giant customer base for Arkham Knight was console. All right? I feel the majority of customer base for Cyberpunk likely would have been PC gamers. That's who they were aiming for. I mean, that's what they designed the game for. That's the version that works. While Arkham Knight was primarily designed for console gamers. Okay? So there you go. So I don't even know. That's like apples to oranges in my opinion. Fallout 76, everyone hated. What are you talking about? Everyone shat all the fuck over Bethesda for Fallout 76. It wasn't delisted. I mean, maybe it should have been. It wasn't delisted. But, you know, it's not the same situation. Timbo Slice Series Among Us is coming to Xbox Game Pass in early 2021. Will you play it? No. I have no interest in Among Us. It's a party game for people messing around with their friends and shit, and that's not the kind of game I play. I don't care about it. Excuse me. Okay. Frenelith cheered. He says, fair enough. I'm not blown away by Cyberpunk either. The 8-year dev time and hype services didn't do them any favors. I agree. So Spartan King cheered. He says, didn't Ghost also steal elements? You love that game. Horizon Zero Dawn also has a better story than Ghost, in my opinion. No, your opinion is absolutely incorrect. You're not entitled to your opinion if it's wrong. I'm just kidding. Listen, Ghost of Tsushima absolutely borrowed elements from other games, but number one, it took those elements and put it into an awesome samurai storyline, of which I've never experienced any kind of a crazy good samurai game like that before, ever. That was the first great samurai game I've ever played in my life. It also had, in my opinion, groundbreaking visuals, the likes of which we have not seen in a video game before. That was some of the best visuals I've ever seen. So you're talking best-of-class gameplay combined with an awesome samurai storyline that's original, I've never seen before, and some of the best graphics I've ever seen. So that's like the difference between that and Horizon Zero Dawn for me. Okay? Fred Kaczynski cheered again. He says, if you end up dropping Cyberpunk, will you start playing Divinity 2? No, I'm not doing Divinity until we get done with RPGs. We're playing multiple RPGs. Like I've already explained to you guys a million fucking times. I can't do multiple RPGs at once. It's bad enough doing Cyberpunk and Yakuza 7 at the same time. There's no way I can start another fucking RPG. It ain't happening. Alright? Just fucking calm your jets. Cool your horses. Wait a minute. It's calm your horses and cool your jets, isn't it? Well, calm and cool them. Relax. Darkside Blade, thanks for the cheer. I'm not even reading that nonsense. Okay, thank you to the top people who gifted subs this week. We've got Big Papa Phil, Mandalorian Merc, and Hell Knight, who all tipped $1. Excuse me, tipped $1. They all gifted a single sub is what I meant to say. Okay. All right, guys. Let's take a break. I got to use the bathroom. Let's take a break. And when I return, we'll boot up and see if Cyberpunk even works today. Right? And like I said, at this point, I'm kind of playing the game ironically. And what I would say is after today's session, let's judge, do you guys want to see me continue playing this for what it is? Or do you want to see me hold off? Like, I'm willing to keep playing it. But you have to understand it's going to be a buggy, unfinished mess. And I'm not in love with the game. Unless something dramatically changes. You know, I even feel, again, if the game didn't have the bugs, I probably wouldn't be liking the game that much. Okay? So, let's see what happens. Alright? Alright, guys. I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks, and see you in a bit.